I realized that the knowledge about building wealth when it comes to real estate is still not mainstream. Okay? People still don't understand how real estate wealth works till today, right? How do they really build wealth? People still don't know till this moment. How do you strategize for wealth creation? People still don't know. How do you invest, for yourself? People still don't know. And hear me, this is about investment. This is not even how to be an agent. I'm shocked at how when I meet Nigerians, for example, here in Houston area, most Nigerians are property agents. But guess what? Most Nigerians are not property investors. Did you see the irony there? Let me say that again. Most Nigerians are property agents. Most Nigerians are not real estate investors. Two different things. As an agent, the maximum returns I will get for selling a property is 3% in the US, right? In other parts of the world, 10%. And I get the money, I spend it, I pay my house rent, I take care of my children, I buy a car. The money is gone. It's gone. But guess what? Most Africans, people of color, do not know about how to invest in real estate. The knowledge about real estate investment is rare. People can be an agent, and by the way, I'm coming up with a new book on how to be a global real estate agent and broker. Okay. And we should be launching it in hopefully in another, 30 days. But I realize that most of us haven't invested in understanding how to actually own the asset itself, how to be the owner, the right way to buy, the right way to sell, the strategy of raising funds when you're doing real estate. Are you aware that becoming a big real estate investor has nothing to do with how rich you are? If you're aware type, I'm aware. If you're not aware type, I'm not aware. Particularly in the US, it's a lot more difficult in Nigeria and Africa. People don't know it's a lot more difficult to grow your real estate business in Africa than it is in the Western world. A lot more difficult. It's a lot easier, okay? And it doesn't have to be your money in the Western world. No, for the starter, 70% of the money doesn't need to be yours to start with. That's even if you are not a green card holder, a resident, yeah, if you don't have Social Security, you will still get 70% mortgage. Now, hear this. If you are a green card holder, you have Social Security, you actually don't even need up to 30%. You can get investors to invest 85% and you are just looking for 15%. And even the remaining 15%, how to raise that part is also part of what we have worked hard on helping people achieve. How many of you think this makes a lot of sense? Now, even outside of the US now, the UK, Canada is similar as well. There's mortgage system. But even in Africa, there are ways you go about negotiation when you're doing real estate deals that also help you to leverage on what we call OPM. Okay, can anybody type the meaning of OPM? What does OPM mean? If you know the meaning of OPM, can you just type what it means? OPM, other people's money. Okay, that's what it means, other people's money, OPM. And so even in Africa, where you don't even have all of that, it's important for you to know that you can still leverage on OPM to grow your wealth in those parts of the world as well. I see how people reach out to me nowadays, knowing that we're doing a $200 million real estate expansion in the US. And the mindset of most people is that this guy, he don't blow. he has so much money. And they have no idea that I don't have money. Everybody has gone into the deal. And I'm even raising money, right? But unfortunately, because people don't understand that wealth is actually grown with other people's money by convincing people to say, I have a deal here. There's money to be made, right? And people and let everybody just get in on it and make sure you have something in it for everyone who invest. That's how wealth is created. But people always think that you are super rich because, again, we don't understand the power of OPM. We don't understand the power of other people's money, right? So the assumption you are very wealthy. And this is what people like, even what's it called? Dangote know better. This is what Donald Trump knows better. This is what Elon Musk know better. Okay? People, for example, assume Elon Musk is as rich as he is because of his own money. No, that's why he's in the capital market. That's why he's raising funds. Okay? Constantly raising funds. That's why when he had to buy Twitter, he's still, Mr. Barry, I don't know how the flyer will be. I don't have the slide. So you're telling me it's not there. I don't even have it. I'm in the group. They haven't posted the new uh they haven't posted the new stuff, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
So it's important to know that, you know, because our mindset as a people is before I do anything, it has to be cash. I must have the cash. And that's why we're not able to invest in real estate assets. So I'll give you a brief on some of the things we discussed in the book and how, knowing this can go a long way in making a difference. We took our time to talk about the cash flow quadrant. I'm not even going to talk about it today, as many of you know that. And that was very, very important. This is deep dive divide. I'm not going to go into that. So let's first of all review the Global Real Estate Investment Masterclass. So this today we're doing is a virtual launch. It's not a physical launch. I will soon share with you the flyer of the physical launch. We're going to be doing a physical launch that will, show in Lagos. We're doing a physical launch in Abuja, and we're doing a physical launch in Houston, Texas here. But in the Global Real Estate Investment Handbook, is a handbook to just give you a guide. What is the book about? It's a guide for investors to navigate complexity of international real estate market, covering market analysis, investment strategy, legal framework, right? Author's purpose to empower readers knowledge for the purpose of global investment. So here in this book, we looked at all market, African market, Asian market, Europe, and that's United Kingdom. We look at the United States as well. So this is global, right, in its structure. So understanding global market, overview of major real estate region, investment strategy, risk management, portfolio diversification, legal and regulatory insights. Because a lot of time we're doing real estate and we don't even consider the regulatory insights. I remember meeting a woman who had real estate asset here in the US. She had four income generating property before 2008 crisis, and she lost everything. And I remember asking her, I said, what knowledge did you have about, investing in real estate beyond just the acquisition, as at the time you were buying? And I realized that this woman bought four property just based on the fact that, she could do the mortgage without even understanding the deeper perspective to it. Because most of those who understand the deeper perspective to real estate, the 2008 crisis only made them bigger because they knew the market was still going to bounce back. They understood the cycle and how things work, and they were still able to bounce back way, way bigger. And that's really what we're talking about here. Now, structure of the real estate book. Part one, fundamental of real estate investment. Part two, regional market analysis. We look at Americas, Europe, Asia, Middle East, Africa. Then part three, case studies of successful investments. Part four, future trends of global real estate. So we looked at it in that detail. Strength, comprehension, and well researched. Real lifestyle cases to enhance practical understanding. Focus on both developed and emerging market. Clear and accessible language for all audience. So it's not ambiguous and something complex. Now, key takeaway from the book: importance of due diligence in international market, diversification, reducing risk in volatile global market, staying informed on global economic trend is very crucial, right? So on this recommendation, real estate investors, financial advisors, market analysts, entrepreneurs exploring global property market. These are the people this book is for. Skill level, intermediate to advanced. So meaning even if you are new, you can still read this book and get some level of detail. So final thoughts, a must read for everyone serious about global real estate investment. Combine theory and practical, effectively. Combine theory and practice effectively. Okay, so that's that about the book. Read the book to elevate your investment strategy. Okay, so I'm going to stop here about the global real estate, investment handbook, and I'm going to take a few questions before I go to the second book. And so I've just given you an overview about what we shared in the book. Of course, you didn't expect me to teach you what's in the book. I hope you didn't. Okay. The virtual launch is to kind of give you an idea of what the book is about. And the good news is that everyone here will get a copy today. I don't know if you're happy to know. All of you will get a virtual copy of this book today. Everyone. The physical copy isn't out yet, but the virtual copy is out, and you all will go home with a copy. Everybody. And our goal is not just us, our goal is 1 million downloads of the book. And I'll tell you, and I want every single one who is here today to be the tool for what we're trying to achieve. So I'll give you what is in my mind, why we wanted 1 million download. So I'm using all the proceeds, particularly the soft copy, and I'll tell you why. The soft copy doesn't come at a cost to us. By the time we start selling the physical copy, there's a cost implication, right? But the soft copy, we don't have any cost of printing, cost of logistics, right? We don't have all of that. So what we decided to do was, imagine we want to launch, we're working on a food bank, a food bank in Houston and in Lagos, Nigeria. What is a food bank? It's a place people can go to and they will be able to get food without paying a dime. Hungry families, widows, orphans, you come to the food bank, you will get food. You don't need to drop a dime. And I was praying to God as I was approaching 40 years of age, what will you have me give? Again, my conversation with God, unlike many people, is not what I want from God. It's what does God want from me? And this was what God placed in my heart to set up a food bank. And so, of course, I had to ask, how do I raise the funds? I mean, setting up a food bank in 2 years alone, if we own the property, we're looking at between $5 to $10 million, guys. Between $5 to $10 million. It's not easy, and you constantly run it. And the idea is that in 50 years from today, we will have fed over 1 billion people. Come on, everybody type 1 billion people globally. Who will have eaten from the food bank. We're starting with Lagos and Houston. Who knows? We can go beyond that. to end hunger. You will be shocked that even in America, 1 out of every 5 children, okay, is starving of food, is starving of hunger, is having an hunger issue in America. 1 out of 5 children in America. So when people heard Houston, some people are like, "Are you kidding me?" I said, "You have no idea that because there's still distribution problem. There's high income inequality, and food is still a basic issue globally." Um, but what was in my heart is we can start, if we can raise $2 million, we can get started in both locations. Dedicate $1 million to Lagos, dedicate $1 million to Houston. We can start, even if it means we're renting the location or we're doing what we call lease to own, right? So the goal is that anybody who makes a minimum donation of $2, you can do 10, you can do 20, you can do 50, you can do one, whatever amount, right? We'll get a free copy of the book today. So we've calculated if we do $2 times 1 million download of the book, right? That gives us $2 million, right? So that was the idea. And that's why we want every one of you today, not just to download your copy, but to send the link of this Zoom meeting to every WhatsApp group, every Facebook group, everywhere you belong, to say, Dr. Stephen has two of his books, and can we create a WhatsApp group, please? And by the way, I want to ask, how many of you want to join the volunteer team to make this a reality? That is, you will do your best to push this agenda till the day we launch the food bank, right? And you'll be able to say, God, I thank you for playing a role, right? How many of you want to volunteer to make this? And that's why I said we didn't overhype this event, because I knew I was looking for people who are believers, right? People who are going to look beyond now, people who are going to work with me long term. We're going to post a WhatsApp group now. We'll give you the flyer of the book. We'll give you the link of the book. We'll give you the link of this video as well. And Mr. Barry, I need to get John up now. As soon as we're done with this presentation, you should cut this video, just the presentation itself, upload it on YouTube and put the link in the WhatsApp group. I also have we'll have a summary version as well, and we hit the ground running. So please create a WhatsApp group and post the link so we all can join. But that's the vision. That's what God laid in my heart that we should do. Do a food bank and just give back. So I said to myself, what do I have? Everybody wants to learn how to do real estate. Everybody wants to be as rich as I am. Okay, you know what? I'm going to give everything. I'm not hiding everything. In fact, the content of the Global Real Estate Investment Handbook, hear this, is the content we use for our $1,500 real estate training. If I had to shut down, we're no longer doing real estate investment masterclass in Nigeria because of this. We turn it to a book, right? So meaning for 5,000 naira, you can get something that the physical class, I think it's 300,000 we charge in Nigeria, and it's 1,500 we charge in UK and US for the class. And like, I just will give it, right? How we raise funds, the various types of real estate you can do, what to look out for, how to structure yourself for it, how to start your own real estate business. How many of you are happy about this? Everything was shared in the Global Real Estate Handbook. Like, it's nothing I know about real estate that I hid from that. Okay, and plus research, plus, data, there's so much data that we added to the book. So much data, so much data. So if you have this book, you literally can land yourself in Canada and start your real estate business. You can land in London with this book if you read everything in it and start your real estate business, because we covered every single aspect. So for me, it's a case of give what you have, Okay, and let's have some people donate, and then we can really make this. And it's part of what I shared in the Billionaire Habit book, isn't it? Win-win. Once you can create a win-win situation, um, we can always have a very successful one. Also, I will be needing a president of this movement, okay? This food bank. We will vote in the WhatsApp group, okay, for the chairman of the committee. I don't know if you're happy to hear this. We'll vote. So, I'm waiting for them to drop the link of the WhatsApp group. You can nominate yourself, put your CV, tell us the ideas you want to go about, making sure we raise at least the first $2 million in the next 90 days for this food bank so that we can start procurement, location we need, and all of that. Strategy to make sure we get 1 million people to download the book, okay, and so on and so forth. So, and I promise whoever emerge as the chairman of the committee and achieves the goal has a lifetime mentorship with me. Lifetime. Okay? A lifetime mentorship with me. In fact, because this is a very important um, project for me. It's my 40th birthday project. And like I said, it also has that sentimental feeling of I had God. And I don't know if you have heard me, a lot of Christians always brag, I had God. God told me, God told me. You will never hear that from me. Okay, for people who have known me for 10 years, this is probably the first time they will hear me say, God told me something. I don't do, and it doesn't mean I don't hear God. It doesn't mean God, but I don't just use the word because I think people like to blackmail people with God told me, God, because once they say God told me, then what we mortal can we tell you otherwise? Even my mentees, I always tell them, if you are coming to me for advice, don't use God told me, because once you say God, my advice is not needed anymore, because who am I to cancel you against what God told you, right? So I don't always use the word God told me, God said, God, no. But this one, I can assure, and God will not tell you, and I believe most of us agree with me, that God does not counsel you to give. I mean, Satan does not counsel you to give. Do you agree with me? Satan will not advise you to give to change the life of poor people, to provide food globally. Who agrees with me? Satan doesn't give such advice. Okay, so I can boldly say God told me, because I know there are certain things you know Satan won't tell you. Okay, Satan will not tell you go and change life of people, feed 1 billion people in the next 50 years, and things like that. So I'm super excited about this.